Hey guys, casting another battle report today. So this game is a bit of grudge match between me and my opponent today. We've played twice before, and I'm 0-2 against his opponent. So he's beat me twice. I was using the old Warriors of Chaos book at the time. Played once against his Beastmen and lost, and once against this actual list itself. I think it was pretty much the exact same list, and lost again. So this is the first time I played him with the new book. So again, using the same list as I'm always using at the moment because I'm still in sort of tournament mindset at the moment. So the more I play with the same list, the better for me at this point. So the Doom Prince rolled up the Crest of Lanif, Doom and Darkness, the Fate of Bjuna, and the Purple Sun of Xeros. And the level 1 this game is going back to Fire. So he just had Fireball this game. I've not really had much luck with Metal. And the problem is with Metal is as I had it in solely to take care of Steam Tanks. And I'm just beginning to think that if he's going to be in there at all, he needs to have more than one use. So he rolled up on Fire. He got the Fire Cloak and swapped out for Fireball. So moving to deployment. This is my right hand side. We decided to we debated for a couple of minutes whether we should roll permission or just pick Battleline. So we decided that what the hell, let's spice things up. We'll roll permission and then we roll Battleline. So we're playing straight up Battleline, and on my right hand side I put down a unit dogs and another unit dogs. That's just a building, nothing special about that tower. Demon Prince just sort of in the centre there. So this is where pretty much most of my army is. It's sort of my centre left. So I've got the Demon Prince there in the bottom right. The Skull Crushers in the centre with the Sorcerer Weapons, Stangy Musician. The BSB with these crazy 2-up save, 3-up ward, rerolling ones. The Demonic Mount. 2 more units of Hounds leading the line. Golbeast Chariot. And over on my far left, we've got another Golbeast Chariot with the 20 Tzeentch Warriors behind. Now, the Tzeentch Warriors are way over here because I was keeping him as far away as possible from the Salamanders. He put 1 down on my right, and then he put the other 2 on my left. So he had me well out dropped. He had like 12 to my 9. So I couldn't really keep away from the Salamanders, but the only real threat for the Salamanders is that block. So if I can mitigate in getting anywhere near my Tzeentch Warriors with the Salamanders, then they should have a very minor impact on the game. And Salamanders is the main thing that I do worry about with Lizardmen. So I'm looking at my opponent's deployment here. So on his left-hand side, my right, there's a unit. There's a Salamander with the extra Skink Handler. A unit of, looks like 11 Skink Skirmishers. Another unit of 11 Skink Skirmishers. A unit of 3 Pterodons behind. They're not on bases this game. I'm not too sure why, but it didn't really make an impact at any point. And he's also got like a Skink Chief Riding Pterodon. I'm not sure how good he actually is. Never really faced him before. He's got the 3-shot strength 5 weapon thing. And in the back there, in sort of the top left, there's a unit of 5 Cold One Cavalry. And over on this side, the mainstay of his army, so I kind of matched up most of my stuff because he put down this block fairly early. He's got a unit of 36 Saurus Warriors with a Slann in there. If you look really closely at the Slann's little seat, it's not actually a Slann. He pulled out the the seat for the Slann and realised that the actual frog had fallen off it. But rather than just saying you can't use your Slann, we put a little Skink Priest on there. So he's doppelganging as a Slann this game. Behind that big block is a Stegodon. It's the one with the bolt thrower on it. I don't know if that's the Engine of the Gods or whatever it is. And then on the left hand side there, those 2 Cold One Cavalry guys. They're not actually Cold One Cavalry. They were being proxied as small Salamanders in this game. My opponent today has got lots of stuff in multiple cases, and just forgot to pick up his extra Salamanders. So I didn't mind him proxying his additional 2 Salamanders with those guys. Not the same base size, but it never becomes an issue. So I do win the roll to go first, and the Demon Prince moves up like so. He's basically staying 24 inches away from the Slann because the Slann has the Becoming Cogitation, so make me discard all 6s that I roll. So I'm pretty much 24.1 inches away from the Slann, but it puts me still within 24 inches of his unit, so I can still cast most of my death magic onto that unit. The dogs on the far side of the tower just swing around it. The dogs in the centre push up. Skull Crushers move up a little bit as well. And as you can see now, with my 2 gold beasts and the BSB and the dogs, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prevent any sort of safe zone for the salamanders. So the salamanders on that side, if they want to swing around the building, they're going to be within charge range of 1 gold beast. If they come around the other side of the building, they're going to be in charge range of the other gold beast. If they try and cut way across field, they're going to be in charge range of the BSB. So I'm providing myself this protective bubble for for the warriors, because they're the only real decent target for the salamanders. So moving into the magic phase, I go ahead and I manage to cast Doom and Darkness onto the Saurus unit there. I get nothing else through. I think I roll fairly low for magic phase, and magic against Slarn isn't very very effective. But I do get Doom and Darkness off, and I think I go for a Purple Sun, and then he dispels it. So into Lizardmen turn 1. The Pterodons go ahead and fly straight up over the Demon Prince. They drop rocks on him, and it doesn't do anything. If you see there's also a tiny little skink priest. I forgot to mention him in deployment, but he has the thing that allows him to fly. He's a level 2 heavens, so he's going to be. I think he has thunderbolts. He's going to be thunderbolting things and harmonic convergence in things. Then he's whole trick here we're seeing where the Pterodons have landed just out of line of sight of everybody in no one's charge arc. But I'm not too worried about Pterodons at this point. And in the centre, so not much movement goes on. The skinks don't really move anywhere. They're just going to try and clear out the chaff that's in front of them. The Saurus and the Slarn, I think they actually move forward just a little bit, not too much though. The Cold One cavalry move over to the sides. Their gun doesn't move. And the salamanders on the far left just kind of shimmy around. You can see those skink handlers there, in inverted commas, they've been working out at the gym, and they actually look more like Saurus warriors, but they're definitely the skinks. They're just fairly muscular skinks. And so in the magic phase, nothing actually goes off. I think I let my opponent have Throne of Vines, it looks like if that black die on the movement tray of the Saurus warriors, he dispels Throne of Vines, and then he gets Flesh to Stone off on that unit. So they're now toughness 6. So that's a fairly tough nut to crack in that unit. In the human phase, the salamanders go ahead and burn that unit of dogs that was by those trees. Cause a panic test on the BSB who passes, and a panic test on the dogs who pass, which is really appreciated. And on this side, combined shooting from I think the salamander on the far right and the skinks just wipe out the unit of dogs that was there. So going into Warriors of Chaos turn 2. So the Demon Prince goes ahead and declares a charge onto the skinks in the centre. I really wanted him to flee, because then I could redirect into the other unit of skinks and get closer into the centre. But he held. This isn't necessarily bad things. I'll just wipe out those skinks and then reform and let them run off the table. You see the Skull Crusher in the centre there. There's one. Basically, the unit split because the trees couldn't put the whole unit down, so I've basically put the 2 end guys down. They declared a charge on the skink unit on the left hand side, and they actually failed. And he's doing standing shoots, not really doing anything. The dog on the right hand side actually declared a charge onto the salamander and failed, which I didn't appreciate. That's not a fight the dogs really do well in anyway, but it'd be nice to at least have them make the charge. And the centre here, so there's no charges that you can see there. What I was talking about with the Skull Crushers, how I've just placed 1 from each side, just to outline where the unit actually is. And we left the 2 centre guys behind. So on the right hand side, my left hand side here, so the Gold Beasts now have swung back in. I'm really feeling a turn coming up where I can get a double charge on those Saurus warriors and really punish them. And send both Gold Beasts and possibly even the BSB in there and just try to keep Doom and Darkness on there and hope they fail like that cold-blooded 6. But best laid plans don't always go to plan. And back here, so the dogs that got shot by salamanders and that fled have actually rallied. Again, my dog was rallying, as in the previous game and the previous games before that. They just continue to rally all the time. And so the warriors here have just shuffled across again. I'm just keeping as far away from the salamanders as possible. I don't really need them in this game. Late game, turn 4, turn 5, I can march them forward and begin to threaten someone in the final turns. But at this point, I just really don't want to be taking those salamander templates. Anything else, can hit my salamanders can hit anything else in my army. It's not really going to do much, but the warriors are really going to suffer casualties from the salamander. So I'm just keeping them the way back here. And into the magic phase, so I go ahead and I roll Snake Eyes for this phase, and I think I try to cast. I might even go for a Purple Sun on 2 dice and fail, and then my opponent on 1 dice manages to dispel Doom and Darkness, which was really frustrating because he needed to roll a 6 and he got it. But in the combat phase, the Demon Prince does indeed wipe out those skinks, and then fails his restrain test because there was one guy left, didn't kill them all. The one guy broke. The Demon Prince failed his restrain test and has to chase him down over there, which is frustrating, but he's very maneuverable, so it's not too much of a problem. And into the Lizardmen turn 2. So he goes ahead and he takes this charge into the flank of the Skull Crushers. Again, people that know Skull Crushers well know that this is not a place where Skull Crushers want to be, because it puts a lot of pressure onto that one Skull Crusher to make his rolls, because he's got a charge on a flank. The BSB is stood right there. I'm down by 1 because I do have the banner. If he sneaks a wound through, I'm on a 6 with a reroll, and that's pushing odds. So kind of careless to not see this, coming. However, I'm pretty confident that one Skull Crusher should be able to kill at least 1, or possibly even 2 Pterodons, and then tie combat is what I'm hoping for. So this is basically going to come down to dice, which is unfortunate. It's kind of a mistake to let this happen to me, but hey, we'll see how the dice go. And another move, so the Salamander on the right side there just turns around to burn the dogs. Skinks do the same. He's just trying to clear out all my chaff so I can't mess with him. And over on this side, to the Salamanders just move around that the other building there, and he's going to put some templates onto that Goldbeast Chariot. And in the magic phase, so this Saurus unit has moved up to within about 8 inches of my Goldbeast Chariots. What I'm thinking he's planning to do, he's going to buff the hell out of this unit, bait in the charge with Frenzy, and then beat both of my Goldbeast Chariots is what I'm thinking he's trying to plan. So the Slan goes ahead, well, the not Slan, goes ahead in the magic phase and goes Throne of Vines and rolls Snake Eyes and ends the magic phase. And at this point I was thinking, well, this is game over. Fluffing that magic phase has left me a simple charge onto not a weak unit, but an unbuffed Saurus unit with a double Goldbeast charge and possibly a BSB. Oh, I was heartbroken for my opponent, but man, I was so happy that this had happened at this point. And that's what happens when a skink tries to be a Slan, I suppose. And in the combat phase here, so that one Skull Crusher absolutely he murders the 3 Pterodons. He actually gets like 5 wounds, but I put them all onto the units. They didn't carry on to the Skink Chief. So yeah, I mean, he just made his rolls like a boss. I think he hit with like all his attacks and then only missed 1 wound. Oh man, I was so happy with the Skull Crusher there. But of course, he flees from combat, needing like Snake Eyes, and I have to chase him, which is unfortunate because it swings me facing the opposite direction that I want to go. And the Skink Priest does get away, so I roll really crappy. So going into Horus Curse turn 3, so this is too good of an opportunity to resist, so I go ahead and declare a charge with both Goldbeast Chariots into that Saurus unit. I decide not to send the BSB in, just in case, I fluff impact hits or whatever, and lose through combat res. I didn't want to risk losing my BSB. So that was the only charge for this turn. So moving into Rain of Moves, the Skull Crushers are sent to just swift reform and turn around like so. They're just gonna, they're now threatening the flank of that Saurus Warrior unit in my next turn if everyone still sticks around. BSB moves around to threaten the rear of that unit, and the Demon Prince just basically turns on the spot. Again, I'm thinking I was too far away at this point to declare a charge onto onto anything. But I think no, this turn I had to turn him round because I ran him. He ran over there in the last turn, so he just turns around on the spot. He's going to cast some death magic, and these dogs over here don't really have anything to do. I really would want them to charge the Skink Chief on Pterodon, but it just wasn't in the arc. So there's not really a job for these guys to do. I'm kind of just hoping that the Salamander and the Skinks over here just take the bait and kill those dogs and don't go after more, valuable targets. And again, so the dogs that rallied last turn just go ahead and do the same thing as the dogs on this side and just put some pressure on those Salamanders. Two dogs aren't going to do anything, but I'm hoping my opponent takes the bait and put some damage on them. And again, the warriors in the bottom of the picture there have just moved away from those two Salamanders. Really don't want to be taking templates from them. The thing with Salamanders is they're so damn fast. They can march 12 inches and then fire out the template, plus an artillery dice. The range on Salamanders is just frightening. And I really just think that for that reason, they're so broken. But hey, it's just something we've got to live with. So, again in the magic phase, I don't really get anything off. I'm not too sure why. Either I've not cast anything or nothing of note went off because I've not got a picture of it. I think I just rolled really low for magic and couldn't force anything through. But in the combat phase, you can look, I pretty much cut that unit in half. I rolled like 13 impact hits. I killed it looks like there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 left. So I've killed like 19 guys from this unit, and I've took 1 wound in return. But he's steadfast on a cold-blooded 9, and of course he makes it. So going into Lizardmen turn 3. The Coldman Cavalry go ahead and take the charge around the BSB into the Skull Crushers. Now, because of the angle, because of where the BSB was, when he made his one pivot, it didn't fully maximise to my unit. So it's 2 Skull Crushers up against 4 Coldman Cavalry, and I still think that's a fight the Skull Crushers can win. And over here, so that's the Skink Priest on Pterodon did indeed rally, and he's just gonna put some pressure on the flank of my warriors. And over here, the Salamander just moves around, so they've not taken the bait. He's just ignored the dogs, but I think the Skinks are just going to mop up those dogs. And on this side, the 2 Salamanders move right up in front of my 2 units of dogs. Or 2 dogs. And of course, in the shooting phase, the dogs get wiped out. I think in the magic phase, I managed to dispel everything. My dispel score comes out in this turn. I think I let him have Throne of Vines, and then I just dispel everything else. And in the shooting phase, so the Pterodon riding guy goes ahead and fires his 3-shot weapon and kills 1 warrior. And the combat phase, so the Coldman Cavalry do nothing, and I wipe out the guys and leave 1 Coldman left, which is unfortunate because he breaks and I have to chase him and it pulls me out of position again. It's the only problem with the Frenzy Skull Crushers is the fact that you have to overrun. But as you can see, they're just cutting a swathe through the heart of his army here. And if you look at the angle there, I think I've got a charge into his Stegodon, so they can quite handily mop up a Stegodon. If you look just in the centre of the picture there, just above the trees, is his little Skink Priest. He flew up, I think, to redirect the Skull Crushers just in case I did manage to wipe out all of the Coldman Cavalry. And in the combat on the right, so I only killed 2 guys. Oh, I think in the magic phase he actually got Earthblood off. I forgot to mention that, and I'm sorry. So he's got a 4 regen, so I don't manage to get many wounds through. But I still win combat again. Oh no, sorry. So this is a picture of the combat. So I don't get many wounds through. He puts 2 wounds on my Gobi's Chariot, which is crazy. It flees, but the other one sticks, which was fortunate. I think I needed a 5 after combat res. So, I had basically 4 shots at rolling a 5 on 2 dice, and luckily I managed to get it. Because now I can get the BSB into the rear of that unit, possibly with the Demon Prince if he can make that charge. Yes, that's going to go well. And if you notice on the left-hand side of that picture, the Salamander's overshot both units of dogs massively. So going into Warriors of Chaos turn 4, the Skull Crushers go ahead and charge the Stegodon. The Demon Prince charged the little skink priest that was, just by those trees in the previous picture. He fled, and I tried to redirect into the Saurus Warriors, needing an 11, but I failed the charge, so he's just there. And the BSB goes ahead and gets into the rear. He gets in just on movement. And the Gobish Chariot doesn't in fact rally, which was appreciated. He just turns around. Back here, so I'm not too sure what I'm really doing here. My first thought was I'll put my level 1 in front of the Skink Rider just to stop him moving anywhere, but then as soon as I did it, I remembered he had Fly, so it was kind of pointless. But I'm just going to try and zap him with a Fireball and pick up those points because he's quite vulnerable. And the Warriors again are basically just shuffling around back here, twiddling their thumbs, not dying, which is fine. And so in the Magic phase, again, everything's just getting dispelled. This is a really poor game for Magic, especially on my part, but quite all over. So, as you'll notice, the BSB is now a Demon Prince. So they go ahead and he gets on a challenge with Unit Champion, kills him fairly easily, even with his regen up. Managed to kill him fairly easily. Roll the Eye of the Gods, roll a double 6, pass the leadership test, and turns him into a Demon Prince. So, oh man, I was so happy. That's the first time it's ever happened. I do give up the points for the BSB, which is unfortunate, but he's, this pretty much is going to make it game. I've got one Demon Prince in with his unit, Gold Beast in the front. Another Demon Prince is going to come in next turn, and I'm really just going to mop up this unit, and then once this unit's gone, it's just a matter of, clean up. But I win combat through combat res. But he's on a rerollable cold-blooded 9 and sticks. And if you look just at the top of the picture, I managed to put 2 wounds on a Stegodon. He actually kills a Skull Crusher. I rolled really, really badly for armor saves, and one whole Skull Crusher dies. I have a charge, a banner, and 2 wounds. He has 3 wounds. I win by 1, but he's on cold-blooded and makes it. And so, unfortunately, we did have to end the game here. My opponent got a phone call, and he had to leave, which was a shame. But as we were packing up, we kind of talked about it, and we agreed that it would have been a table in my favour because it was his turn next, so he would have had a Magic phase. I could have shut it down, but really that Saurus unit was gonna get beaten up by 2 Demon Princes. The Gobish Chariot would come in again in the next turn. And then, with 2 Demon Princes being able to jump around the place, it was just going to be a matter of cleanup, and it would have been a tabling. So it's another victory for the Warriors of Chaos, but unfortunately we couldn't play 6 turns. We just, we only managed to play like 3.5 turns really. But a convincing win for the Warriors of Chaos, which I was really happy about because I hate playing Lizardmen. It's nice to see that even Lizardmen can't really deal with the Demon Prince. But, yeah, crazy things could have happened. My Demon Prince could have, cascaded himself or whatever could have happened. So, not a great win that I'm proud of. But, again, my opponent agreed that it would have been a tabling. So that was that. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and put comments in the box below. Okay, thanks. See you on the next one.